Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Welcome to Stoic in Your Life, where today we dive into the darker side of human nature. Not everyone we encounter has our best interests at heart. In fact, some are distinctly harmful. It's a harsh reality that certain individuals in our midst wish nothing but the worst for others. Whether driven by unresolved traumas or insidious personality traits, these individuals pose real risks to those around them. But fear not. Awareness is your shield. In this video, we unveil the 5 unmistakable signs of an evil person, guided by the wisdom of Stoicism. Join us as we illuminate these warning signs, ensuring you navigate through life not in the shadows of ignorance, but in the light of knowledge and truth. Let's get started. Number 1. The urge to control. In today's discourse, we delve into the complexities of human behavior, specifically the profound urge to control, through the lens of Stoic philosophy, a viewpoint that offers timeless wisdom on the art of living well. It is often said that he who angers you conquers you, a poignant reminder from philosopher Elizabeth Kenny that resonates deeply with Stoic principles. This aphorism underscores the essence of true control, which, according to Stoicism, is not about exerting one's will over others, but mastering one's own emotions and reactions. The innate human quest for power and dominance may seem indispensable, yet Stoicism invites us to reconsider this impulse. True strength, Stoics argue, lies not in domination, but in self-regulation. This philosophy teaches us that the only genuine control we possess is over ourselves, our perceptions, and our responses to the external world. The unpredictable actions of others and the myriad events of nature are beyond our dominion. In interpersonal relationships, the guise of control can often masquerade as care or love. It's a common misconception to believe that guiding or protecting a loved one equates to knowing what's best for them. However, such actions might not stem from genuine care, but from a desire to control. In the teachings of Stoicism, a central tenet is the cultivation of understanding and acceptance, emphasizing that true freedom is achieved through self-mastery and the regulation of our own emotions and actions, rather than attempting to dominate others. This philosophy advocates for the inherent right of each person to autonomy, suggesting that by focusing on our personal development, we can lead lives that are not only freer but also more meaningful. Take the story of Jack and Julia, for instance, which serves as a poignant illustration of what happens when we lose sight of these Stoic values. Their relationship began with a foundation of deep trust and mutual respect, filled with promises and the warmth of shared love. However, as time evolved, Jack became increasingly consumed by an irrational fear of losing Julia, which gradually began to erode the trust between them. Jack's fears led him to become overly protective and controlling, to the extent that he began to isolate Julia from her friends, claiming that they were a bad influence on her. He also started to critique her choice of attire, asserting that his objections were in her best interest, and that he wished for others to respect her as he did. But these actions were not rooted in love. Rather, they stemmed from Jack's own insecurities and his overwhelming need to control. Julia initially responded with understanding, trying to adapt to Jack's changing behavior in the hope of preserving their relationship. However, as Jack's controlling nature intensified, so too did Julia's sense of being constrained. This growing pressure led to numerous heated arguments, leaving Julia feeling crushed under Jack's demands and Jack himself feeling desperate to hold on to the relationship that he was ironically destroying. This dynamic highlights a critical lesson about personal freedom. The control Jack exerted not only led to Julia's suffering, but also to his own misery. Eventually, realizing she could no longer live under such restrictions, Julia made the difficult decision to end the relationship and reclaim her independence and self-respect. Their story is a modern reflection of an age-old wisdom captured eloquently by Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, who once said, "Can you no longer see a road to freedom? It's right in front of you. You need only turn over your wrists." This quote challenges us to consider if we, too, are guilty of trying to control the uncontrollable, of attempting to limit what is inherently free, our own spirit and the spirit of others. Now ask yourself, are you clinging too tightly to something or someone? Are your fears driving you to actions that might be undermining your relationships? What changes could you embrace in your personal life if you decided to release your grip and instead cultivate trust and acceptance? Stoicism offers more than just personal guidance. It serves as a lighthouse guiding us toward internal resilience and peace. As we delve deeper into these lessons, we aim to understand how to apply them to foster tranquility and inner strength, and in doing so, endeavor to become the best versions of ourselves. Thus, Jack and Julia's relationship underscores a vital lesson in the significance of trust and personal freedom within our interactions. Their story encourages us to reflect on our relationships and the levels of freedom we allow and seek. By considering these themes, we are inspired to reevaluate our approach to the challenges we face, striving for a life marked not by control and restriction, but by harmony and self-mastery. Number 2, the mask of charm. In our journey through life's intricate web of relationships, have you ever felt like you've wandered into a realm of enchantment where someone's charm seems almost magical? It's an enthralling experience, isn't it? The allure pulls you in, stirring up a longing for connection, acceptance, and love. This instinctual pull towards others is a fundamental human desire. But let's take a moment, guided by Stoic wisdom, to look beneath this mesmerizing surface. Stoicism, a philosophy grounded in discernment and self-mastery, urges us to see beyond the initial dazzle of charm. As Marcus Aurelius once cautioned, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." This quote invites us to question, what lies beneath the charismatic facade of those who captivate us so effortlessly? At first, these individuals may appear exceptionally caring and attentive, always ready to lend a hand. But Stoicism teaches us to observe not just what is presented, but why it is presented. Could it be that beneath their helpful demeanor lies a more self-serving or even malicious intent? How often might charm be a strategic mask, worn by those seeking to manipulate or control? Reflect on your own experiences. Have you encountered someone whose initial warmth and interest seem to fade, revealing less benevolent motives? What might this tell us about the nature of true virtue versus superficial charm? Consider the role of autonomy and wisdom in our interactions. Stoicism doesn't just offer a shield against deception, it empowers us to live with integrity by understanding our own motives and those of others. How can we apply this introspective practice in our daily lives to not only see others more clearly, but also to refine our own character? Let's engage in a deeper dialogue with these ideas. How do you distinguish genuine kindness from manipulative charm in your relationships? What steps can you take to cultivate a more discerning outlook, ensuring that your connections are both sincere and enriching? In the bustling currents of our daily interactions, it's vital to anchor ourselves with wisdom, especially when discerning the true character of those we meet. Stoicism, a philosophy with deep roots in ancient wisdom, teaches us to look beyond the surface, urging a critical examination of others' intentions. He who exercises wisdom exercises the knowledge which is about God. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, reminds us that understanding one's true motives aligns with higher wisdom. Consider the story of Mark, a charismatic businessman known for his engaging demeanor and apparent generosity. At first glance, Mark embodies the ideal colleague, always ready with a supportive word and eager to lend a hand. Yet as time unfolds, a pattern emerges that casts a shadow over his sunny persona. His favors, though seemingly benign, carry an unspoken weight of obligation. When Mark assists a coworker with a challenging project, It soon becomes apparent that his help wasn't given freely, but was an investment from which he expected returns. This calculated manipulation, where assistance is merely a tool for personal advancement, reveals a stark contrast between genuine kindness and strategic charm. Such behavior is symptomatic of what the Stoics warn against, allowing outward allure to mask ulterior motives. It's not merely the assistance that matters, but the intention behind it. A truly benevolent person helps without expecting something in return, unlike those who, like Mark, use their charm as a mechanism for self-benefit. To navigate these treacherous waters, we must rely on our instincts and remain vigilant. The Stoic practice of reflection teaches us to recognize the subtle signs that someone's outward generosity may be a facade. When the allure begins to fade, the real intentions can no longer hide behind a polished exterior. This awareness is crucial in today's world where relationships can often influence personal and professional realms significantly. In modern life, where interactions can be complex and motives obscured, the Stoic advice to be wary of too glittering appearances is more relevant than ever. We encounter numerous marks in our lives, people who present themselves well but may manipulate emotions to serve their ends. By applying Stoic principles, we can protect ourselves from being misled by false allure and instead foster relationships based on genuine mutual respect and kindness. Let us, therefore, arm ourselves with the wisdom of discernment and the shield of skepticism, as suggested by Marcus Aurelius. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. By embracing this mindset, we not only avoid the pitfalls of deception but also cultivate deeper, more authentic connections with those around us. In navigating the complexities of human interaction, the art of charm is both inevitable and intricate. Stoic philosophy sheds light on this, teaching us to cultivate awareness and autonomy. Such wisdom is not merely academic, it equips us to shield ourselves from manipulative influences and fosters our personal growth, enhancing our understanding of those around us. You've likely met someone who uses charm as a tool to further personal agendas. In today's competitive work environment, the ability to discern between genuine warmth and calculated deceit is more crucial than ever. What are your experiences? How do you differentiate sincerity from manipulation? Amidst our day-to-day encounters, we sometimes cross paths with those harboring a darker nature. Individuals whose actions and mindsets starkly contrast with kindness and empathy. Protecting ourselves from such negative influences is not just skillful, it's essential for our well-being. Recognizing the presence of malice in someone can be challenging yet crucial. Have you ever felt uneasy about someone's intentions but couldn't quite pinpoint why? How do you react in such situations? Let's delve into a key indicator that you might be dealing with someone with harmful intentions. Imagine you're in a new job, and you meet a colleague who is excessively charming. Initially, it feels flattering, but soon, small discrepancies in their stories begin to appear. They manipulate details to create a favorable image, or to pit team members against each other subtly. This scenario is not just about understanding a person's true colors, but also about learning to trust your instincts and question inconsistencies. Engaging with this reality demands calmness and resolve. It's about asking the right questions, both of ourselves and the situations we find ourselves in. What strategies have you found effective in dealing with such individuals? Reflecting on these questions not only helps us handle these interactions better, but also prepares us for future encounters. In conclusion, recognizing deceit and protecting oneself against manipulation are critical skills in both personal and professional realms. The lesson here extends beyond merely identifying negative traits in others. It's about developing resilience and a deeper insight into human behavior. As we navigate these challenging interactions, let's remember to stay true to our values and remain vigilant. How will you apply these insights in your life? Number 3, the absence of empathy. In our complex social and professional landscapes, the element of empathy, or the lack thereof, plays a critical role in shaping our experiences and interactions. Let's visualize a situation in a corporate environment where a high-ranking executive, such as a CEO, consistently places the demands of the business above the personal well-being of the employees. Consider a specific scenario. An employee, grappling with the responsibilities of caring for a gravely ill family member, approaches the CEO to request some compassionate leave. The CEO, however, declines the request, firmly stating that work must always come first. This decision not only highlights a profound absence of empathy, but also signals a worrisome neglect for the intrinsic values of human life and relationships. What does this response from the CEO reveal about their character? It paints a picture of a person who sees others not as human beings with emotional and physical needs, but as mere instruments to achieve business objectives. Such a lack of empathy does not only affect the direct relationship between employer and employee, it seeps through the entire fabric of the organization, creating a toxic work environment where mutual trust fades and cooperative spirit is undermined. The consequences are significant. Employee morale plummets, productivity drops, and creativity is stifled. Drawing on the teachings of Stoicism, an ancient philosophical stance, we understand the critical balance between reason and emotion in our dealings. Seneca, a noted Stoic philosopher, aptly stated, "All cruelty springs from weakness." This wisdom prompts us to consider, how do we maintain our moral values and integrity when confronted with such overt insensitivity? Furthermore, how do we protect our own humanity in challenging professional climates? The ordeal of interacting with someone who lacks empathy is not just a test of our personal resilience and patience. It poses a significant moral quandary. How should one respond in such situations? Is it possible to mitigate the pervasive and destructive effects of such a deficiency in empathy, or is this something we must resign ourselves to in certain professional contexts? Reflect on this. Have you ever encountered a similar situation in your own life? How did it affect you? And what strategies did you find effective in safeguarding your personal integrity and emotional well-being? Asking these questions is not merely for contemplation. It encourages us to dive deeper into our own experiences and seek understanding and growth. By exploring and addressing these challenges, we aim to foster environments that are more empathetic and supportive, enhancing our interactions and enriching our professional and personal lives. Life's journey inevitably brings us into contact with individuals who exhibit a startling lack of compassion. However, Stoicism arms us with vital strategies to navigate these interactions with grace and empathy. The philosophy encourages us to look beneath the surface of apparent unkindness or malice, recognizing these behaviors as possible defenses erected by those who are themselves suffering quietly. By adopting an empathetic viewpoint, we not only shield ourselves from negativity, but also offer a bridge of understanding that might lead others toward personal healing and betterment. The words of Seneca, another esteemed Stoic thinker, resonate deeply here. It is not what you endure that matters, but how you endure it. His teachings remind us that our power lies in our capacity to persevere through adversity with resilience and compassion. This approach does not simply help us to handle difficulties, it transforms us into pillars of strength and encouragement for our peers. When practicing Stoicism, especially in dealings with those who seem to lack basic empathy, we must focus on self-protection and the promotion of a compassionate society. Each encounter with such individuals presents us with a fundamental choice: to mirror their indifference or to counter it with patience and understanding. Opting for the latter not only preserves our ethical integrity, but also helps to foster an environment where respect and empathy flourish. Thus, in times when extending compassion feels particularly challenging, it is crucial to ask ourselves several reflective questions. How can I extend empathy to both others and myself in this moment? What are the triggers that erode my patience, and what strategies can I employ to manage these effectively? By considering these points, we can enhance our ability to remain empathetic, even under stressful or provoking circumstances. Your engagement with these concepts does more than aid in your personal development. It contributes to a broader movement toward a more empathetic and cohesive society. If this message strikes a chord with you, consider sharing it with friends. Together, through understanding and shared experiences, we can build a support network that reaches far beyond our individual capabilities, creating a stronger, more positive community. Number 4. The web of lies. In a world where honesty forms the backbone of meaningful connections, encountering deceit can leave us disheartened. Have you ever felt your heart sink in reaction to someone's untruths, especially when you realize these lies are not innocent, but tools for manipulation and control? Picture someone who uses deception as their primary weapon. They're not merely misguided. They're wielding falsehoods to undermine and overpower others. Pathological lying is more than just telling fibs. It's an uncontrollable, often unnecessary habit that serves a darker purpose. These liars spin their tales relentlessly, driven by a desire for power, control, or to dodge accountability. Key indicators of such behavior include a constantly shifting storyline, discrepancies in their accounts, and overblown defensive reactions when their honesty is questioned. The repercussions of such behavior, particularly in professional settings, are profound. Persistent dishonesty doesn't just poison a workplace environment by breeding toxicity, it also chips away at the foundational trust among team members, leading to decreased productivity and morale. In dealing with such individuals, it's crucial to remain vigilant and question inconsistencies. Recognizing these signs early can protect you from becoming entangled in the manipulative webs they weave. More importantly, fostering an environment where truth and transparency are valued over deceit is vital for any community or organization. The lesson here extends beyond merely spotting a liar. It's about understanding the broader effects of deceit and striving to cultivate honesty and integrity in all aspects of life. How can you ensure you're contributing to a culture of transparency and trust, whether at work, at home, or among friends? Remember, every interaction offers a chance to reinforce these values, making a positive difference in your community and beyond. Navigating the murky waters of deception requires a nuanced and steadfast approach, especially when faced with pathological liars whose main arsenal includes distortion of truth. The ancient Stoic philosophers, with their emphasis on personal discipline and emotional resilience, offer timeless guidance on handling such situations. Stoicism, in particular, teaches us to confront deceit without letting our emotions overpower our judgment or disrupt our inner peace. Consider the story of Anna, a diligent accountant who began to notice inconsistencies in the reports filed by her colleague Tom. Tom, ambitious and deceptive, frequently embellished his accomplishments to portray himself as the ideal candidate for an upcoming managerial role. Despite her initial shock and disappointment, Anna chose not to let her emotions dictate her actions. She embodies the Stoic ideal of maintaining emotional autonomy, not allowing someone else's dishonesty to disturb her equanimity or influence her decisions. With a calm and methodical approach, Anna started to compile evidence of Tom's fabrications. She meticulously documented every discrepancy between his reports and the reality of the projects she was familiar with. Her strategy was not one of immediate confrontation, but rather a quiet accumulation of incontrovertible evidence. When she had gathered enough proof, Anna arranged a private meeting with her manager. In this meeting, she presented her findings clearly and objectively, without any hint of the personal hurt or anger she felt. The manager's decision to initiate a comprehensive investigation into all project reports and to overhaul the employee performance evaluation process serves as a testament to the effectiveness of Anna's approach. The outcome was a lesson in integrity for Tom and a reminder to the entire company about the critical importance of honesty and transparency in maintaining trust and accountability within the organization. This incident illustrates how Stoic wisdom can be applied to modern challenges, providing a framework for ethical conduct and personal integrity in the face of adversity. Marcus Aurelius, a proponent of Stoic thought, once said, "The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane." This poignant reflection challenges us to think critically about our own actions and the moral choices we make. Have you ever been swayed by the majority, only to later realize that the popular view was not the ethical one? As we forge ahead, let us be guided by courage and wisdom. These virtues can lead us to success and peace, paving the way for a world where honesty and respect form the bedrock of all relationships. What actions can you take today to contribute to such a world? Each decision you make has the potential to influence your community and shape a more honest society. Number 5. Mastery of manipulation. Engaging with the complexities of human behavior requires a discerning eye, especially when identifying the subtle cues of malevolence. If you wish to improve, be content to appear clueless or stupid in extraneous matters, said Epictetus, a guiding light in Stoic thought. This wisdom underscores the importance of focusing on what truly matters, recognizing the traits of those who may not have our best interests at heart. The mastery of manipulation is one such trait, a sinister skill finely honed by those who wish to bend others to their will. Domination, in this context, stems from a profound and insatiable thirst for control, a craving so potent that it drives individuals to devise complex schemes and weave webs of deceit. The evil person sees others not as humans, but as marionettes, existing solely to serve their nefarious ends. Consider the puppeteer, whose art is to pull strings gently, guiding the puppet in subtle, almost imperceptible movements. Similarly, a manipulator works from the shadows, influencing and steering individuals without their conscious realization. They craft scenarios that leave their victims none the wiser, believing they are acting of their own volition while they are, in fact, performing on a stage set by their manipulator. In modern life, this manipulation is often masked by a facade of charm or the guise of urgent necessity, tricks designed to disarm and beguile. The Stoics' defense against such deception is a vigilant mind and an unyielding commitment to personal integrity. Marcus Aurelius once noted, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Adopting this mindset allows us to resist the urge to control or retaliate, and instead, focus on cultivating our virtue and wisdom. To navigate this landscape of human interaction, one must learn to recognize the signs of manipulation. This involves understanding the motives behind overly generous gestures or unsolicited advice, discerning the sincerity of sudden warmth and friendliness, and staying alert to the gradual encroachments on personal autonomy and decision-making. These insights are invaluable, not just in personal relationships but also in the broader societal context, where power dynamics play out on a grand scale. In the workplace, in politics, and even in familial settings, the ability to discern and withstand manipulation is a crucial skill that protects us from psychological harm and helps maintain our moral compass. Thus, as we venture through the intricate dance of social interactions, let us hold fast to the Stoic principles of awareness, self-control, and resilience. Let us strive to see beyond the surface, to understand the nature of those we encounter, and to guard our spirits against those who would seek dominion over them. In doing so, we not only protect ourselves, but also contribute to a more just and principled world. This exploration into the shadows of human conduct, where manipulation resides as a tool of the unscrupulous, serves as a reminder of the eternal vigilance required to preserve our integrity. It echoes the timeless advice of the Stoics and provides practical guidance for those seeking to uphold their values in a world that often challenges them. Identifying and comprehending these signals is crucial, as it enables us to shield ourselves from harmful impacts while fostering robust and enduring connections. Stoicism highlights the importance of self-discipline, acceptance, and, above all, leading a life guided by moral principles. By integrating these teachings into our everyday routines, we not only steer clear of malevolent individuals, but also advance toward a more fulfilling and joyful existence. As we conclude today's exploration into the signs of malevolent individuals, I hope you've gained valuable insights that empower you to navigate your surroundings more wisely. Stoic teachings not only guide us in recognition but urge us toward proactive measures, shielding ourselves and our integrity from harmful influences. Now I'm curious to hear about your experiences. Have you encountered these signs in your interactions? How have you applied Stoic wisdom to protect yourself? If today's content resonated with you, please like, share, and comment below with your thoughts or stories. Sharing helps spread this crucial awareness to those who might need it. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos, where we continue to delve deep into Stoic philosophy, enhancing our collective journey toward personal growth and inner peace. Let's keep the conversation going and support each other in fostering a life filled with wisdom and virtue. Watch the recommended videos at the end of this one to deepen your understanding and application of Stoic principles. Until next time, embrace the challenges of life with the strength of Stoicism. Goodbye, and I look forward to our next journey together on Stoic in your life.